Greetings, curious minds. Welcome back to my channel, exploring the rich tapestry of African history. I'm Ecom, your companion through the annals of time. Today, we embark on an enthralling expedition into the very roots of our existence. Join me in Genesis of Humanity, the evidence that Homo sapiens originated in Africa, as we unravel the compelling story of our species' beginnings. By sifting through the evidence that points to our evolutionary roots in the cradle of humanity. But before we delve into the mysteries of our past, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's uncover the evidence that humans evolved in ancient Africa. Introduction to human evolution. The story of our origin takes us back millions of years, to a continent teeming with life and evolution. It's a story of how our ancestors embarked on an incredible journey of adaptation and transformation. And it all started in Africa. Here are some of the evidences that humans evolved in ancient Africa. 1. Fossil discoveries. The journey of Africa's earliest inhabitants can be traced back to the emergence of hominids. Fossil evidence, including the famous fossils found in places like Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, and the discovery of fossilized remains of hominins, like Australopithecus afarensis, e.g. the famous Lucy fossil in East Africa, suggests that early hominins lived in Africa millions of years ago. Fossils of early Homo species such as Homo habilis and Homo erectus have been found in various African sites. Homo erectus in particular is known to have migrated out of Africa and spread into Asia and Europe. The earliest fossils classified as anatomically modern Homo sapiens have been found in Africa. For example, the Jebel Irhoud site in Morocco has yielded fossils dating back to approximately 300,000 years ago. The soil cradled the bones of our distant kin. 2. The age of fossils in and out of Africa. Archaeologists have also been hunting for skeletons on other continents. In the Middle East, ancient Homo sapiens skeletons have been found dating back to 92,000 years ago. In Australia, the oldest ancient skeletons are 40,000, 60,000 years old. And those in Europe are only 30,000, 40,000 years old. Compared to the ancient skeletons found in Africa, the earliest human remains outside of Africa are really young. And they get younger the farther away from Africa that you get. These patterns seem to suggest that Homo sapiens first originated in Africa, and then eventually spread out to occupy continents farther and farther away. 3. Homo habilis and early stone tools. Homo habilis, one of our early ancestors, showcased the ability to use tools. Discoveries in Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania and other sites reveal very old stone tools crafted by the earliest Homo habilis before migration out of Africa, marking a significant leap in technological evolution. The tools embedded in ancient soils tell tales of innovation. 4. Homo erectus and the out-of-Africa migration. Homo erectus, our wandering ancestors, expanded beyond Africa, leaving footprints across continents. Fossil evidence suggests that around 70,000 years ago, our ancestors ventured beyond the African continent, populating the far reaches of the globe. The earliest Homo erectus fossils found in places like Turkana in Kenya reinforced Africa as the starting point of our global journey. The African soil preserves the first steps of global exploration. 5. Genetic studies and mitochondrial Eve. Studies of mitochondrial DNA, which is passed from mother to offspring, have shown a pattern of genetic diversity in modern human populations that is consistent with a recent common African ancestry. This is often referred to as the mitochondrial Eve hypothesis. Similarly, studies of the Y chromosomal DNA, which is passed from father to son, also support the idea of a common African origin for modern humans. This is called the chromosomal atom. Advances in genomic research have allowed scientists to analyze the entire human genome. Studies of nuclear DNA have provided further support for the African origin of Homo sapiens and have helped map the migration patterns of early human populations. The DNA in our cells echoes the ancient African symphony. 6. African genetic diversity and haplogroups. Exploring the evidence of genetic diversity found across the continent, as different populations gave rise to unique haplogroups, groups of alleles that share a common ancestor, highlights Africa's role as the cradle of not just one, but multiple human lineages. The soil cradled the roots of diverse lineages. 7. Linguistic diversity and language evolution. The birth of language marked a pivotal moment in our story. Though elusive in the archaeological record, linguistic diversity in Africa today hints at the rich tapestry of ancient languages that once echoed across the savannas. Linguistic diversity in Africa today offers a window into the evolution of language. Diverse languages spoken across the continent hint at the ancient roots of human communication. The wind carries echoes of ancient conversations. 8. Bipedalism and adaptation. Bipedalism, the ability to walk on two legs, is a defining feature of our evolutionary journey. Fossilized footprints in Laetoli, Tanzania, provide direct evidence of early hominids walking upright over 3.6 million years ago, older than any other fossilized footprints found anywhere outside Africa. The footprints in the soil tell tales of upright strides in Africa. 9. Continuity of evolutionary stages. The fossil records in other continents show a lack of continuity of evolutionary stages. The backward trace of evolutionary lineage eventually disappears, or tends to show a pattern or convergence supporting out of African migration. On the other hand, the fossil record in Africa shows a continuity of evolutionary stages, from early hominins to the emergence of anatomically modern Homo sapiens. This continuity supports the idea that the evolution of Homo sapiens occurred in Africa. 10. Sahara Desert Green Period and Human Migration. There are recurring periods when the climate in the Sahara changes. We call the phenomenon Green Sahara or African humid periods. During a green period, the desert shrinks significantly and is transformed into a lush landscape that resembles the savannas we know from Eastern Africa today. Evidence suggests that this period potentially facilitated human migrations out of Africa and interactions across the region. This further lends credence to the fact that humans first originated and migrated from Africa. 11. Ancient DNA studies and population movements. By analyzing DNA in living human populations, geneticists could trace lineages backward in time. These analyses have provided key support for the out-of-Africa migration theory. Homo sapiens, this new evidence has repeatedly shown, evolved in Africa, probably around 200,000 years ago. The DNA carries whispers of genetic lineages. 12. Evolutionary adaptations, skin color, and immunity. Beginning as far back as 8 million years ago, various species of hominids, the ancestors of modern humans or Homo sapiens, began to walk upright. This bipedalism would allow these hominids to use their hands to develop, craft, and use tools. Bipedalism would also eventually contribute to a move out of forests into the savanna and turn hominids into big game hunters and gatherers. As the early hominins became more exposed to sun in the sunnier parts of Africa near the equator, they began to lose their hair to aid in cooling and developed darker skin to reduce the skin penetration of excess UV rays from the sun. As early humans moved to areas farther from the equator with lower UV levels, natural selection favored lighter skin, which allowed UV rays to penetrate the skin and produce essential vitamin D. So before the mass global migrations of people during the last 500 years, dark skin color was mostly concentrated in the southern hemisphere near the equator, and light color progressively increased farther away. With dark skin, people mostly concentrated in Africa, and light-skinned people concentrated away from Africa. This further supports the out-of-Africa migration. The light-skinned people now found along the equator are believed to be later settlers. Ongoing research and new discoveries. The quest for knowledge continues, diving into ongoing research and new discoveries in the field of human evolution, where cutting-edge technologies and interdisciplinary approaches unveil fresh insights into our ancient African origins. The field of paleoanthropology is dynamic, with ongoing excavations and new discoveries shaping our understanding. From Rising Star Cave in South Africa to ongoing projects in East Africa, researchers continue to unveil new chapters in our story, supporting human migration from Africa. The soil continues to yield secrets untold. 14. Collaboration in scientific discoveries. The collaborative efforts among scientists, researchers, and local communities contribute to the ongoing discoveries in the field of human evolution, emphasizing the importance of shared knowledge and perspectives. The combination of fossil evidence, genetic studies, and archaeological findings overwhelmingly supports the hypothesis that Homo sapiens originated in Africa. This concept is widely accepted in the scientific community and is known as the out-of-Africa model for the origin of modern human. And there you have it. A journey through the evidence that humans evolved in ancient Africa. If you found this exploration enlightening, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more historical adventures, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time. I'm Ecom, signing off from my channel exploring the rich tapestry of African history.